everyone. My name is Ritesh Oster, and welcome to today's webinar. Today's topic is Smarter PPC using ABM 2.0. How to reduce wasted ad spend with intent data. Right. So today we're going to talk about how Bridge Ads, ABM, can transform your B2B advertisement efficiently. So my name is Ritesh Oster. For everybody who is just joining in, who do not know me, I'm the founder of a company called Inside Tab, where we help your B2B business run like an e-commerce store using GTM engineering, performance ads, analytics, and ABM. And I'm also one of the top rated freelance Fiverr Pro consultant. So you can check out my profile there as well, where I consult with B2B companies with their growth strategies. All right. Okay. Now with that, let's get started. I'm very excited about today's webinar. Today, we are going to talk about ads, PPC, LinkedIn ads, as well as ABM 2.0. For if you don't know what ABM 2.0 is, we have been conducting some webinars in the past around this particular topic. So go ahead and find those. We'll put some of the links in the description as well about ABM 2.0. So go ahead and watch those webinars if you want to learn more about 2.0. But we are going to cover what ABM 2.0 is in this webinar as well from the PPC point of view. So what is the PPC or the ads problem in B2B? Okay, I'm talking about today's era. If traditionally things were working in a very different manner in 2015, but we are living in 2025, and things have changed rather drastically. I'll give you a context here. I was doing an audit for one of the B2B clients that I'm consulting recently. And I was doing an audit, SEO and PPC audit for that particular client. And my SEO guys and my PPC guys, they did a complete audit. And then we found out that their SEO and PPC traffic had dropped by 50% in last 6 months. So now the question is, what really happened, right? I mean, this is a company which was getting more than 100,000 visitors a month on their website. So there was huge traffic until last year. But suddenly this year, the traffic has gone down almost 50%. And they were looking for consultants like me to analyze and see what is the way forward, what is the problem. So when I showed the report to them, they were shocked to see that that their overall traffic from organic SEO and PPC has been steadily declining, almost to around 50% in the last 6 to 8 months. Now that was very shocking, and it got us back into the drawing board for most of us. And even I was a little surprised because as a GDM engineer, AI consultant, I do understand that the search is going down, and more AI-based research is going up thanks to perplexities and the Gemini and the ChatGPT. More people are looking for AI-based research and search rather than going to Google search and others, and Quora and others to look for their answers. But the statistics are shocking. Okay, the traditional PPC, for example, the Bing ads and the Google ads and all of them, they wholly put their entire platform on the context that they are going to get all the clicks, right? So if you get more clicks, there'll be more people visiting your site, and the chances are that there'll be more conversion. That was the whole narrative. But the problem now is that people are not clicking. The reason why people are not clicking is because people are not going to Google, as much as they were before this AI era to do their search. They are not going to Bing and to Quoras and others. So if they're not going there, then how will the clicks happen, right? So that is a problem. And so the traditional PPC always targeted clicks and not the context. The more the clicks, the more they will earn money, and the more the chances are that you're going to convert those clicks into conversion. But now the clicks itself is steadily declining. And so with that, the conversion is declining, the traffic is declining, the conversion is declining. and it's creating a huge problem for a lot of companies who have been traditionally dependent on SEOs and the content marketing and the PPC for most of their business. So traditional marketing, PPC targets click, not context. Okay, as much as possible. I mean, the context is there, of course. It is keyword-based context. So everything is fine, except the fact that people are not doing those Google searches and the Bing searches and the Quora searches as much as they used to do a couple of years back. Broad targeting wastes budget on unqualified traffic. Okay, that's another problem altogether. So a lot of brands, they used to do broad targeting. Okay, that means they will just put a broad match keyword and then they will just try to bring as many clicks as possible. The problem is that most of the traffic that used to come were irrelevant target and irrelevant target audience, and also many of the clicks that typically the company used to get were like bots and spams, right? So it's like a giant haystack where you have to, the much of it is just noise, and only there's a limited amount of leads which are really qualified leads. So the sales team used to just work and process those all the time, in terms of what's the actual leads are and what are the noise. So that was another problem with traditional PPC. The third issue is that the real buyers research anonymously on G2, LinkedIn, Slack, review sites. Okay, they are not like they are just there looking into social medias and the G2s and Slacks and the Quoras. Anonymously, they are doing it. It's hard to find those people until you are running campaigns in every single of these platforms. So the intent was very hard to find. Okay, and the fourth one is the intent. Okay, the intent was there, but it was invisible. For example, if somebody is going to G2, you're not aware of it, right? Somebody is going to LinkedIn and posting something or asking something, you're not aware of it. Somebody is going to social media, asking a few questions around that, you're not aware of it. So somebody is buying a new platform, like for example, they have just acquired, not acquired, they have implemented Salesforce. You're not aware of it. So that is what the problem with traditional, ads was, because it was primarily around keywords and certain broad match queries, and that's pretty much it. And that only represents a very small amount of people actually who is ready to buy, right? So if you look into the path, you see that traditional PPC funnel looks like broad ads, okay, which will only bring around 2% of the actual leads who are actually ready to buy at that point of time. And it was to a large extent ignoring those 98% hidden intent customer. For example, if a customer is looking for an HR software, they will say, buy HR software or something, best HR software. So you're running ads on those. But there are only around 2% of the people who are actually looking for best HR software or buy HR software, those kind of keywords, which brings qualified leads. The other problem with this approach is that every one of your competitors knows these keywords and queries. So they are also targeting the same audience. So it's kind of a red ocean where everybody is fighting for the same set of resources. And almost everybody is just ignoring those 98% of the hidden intent, resource intent signals that is out there in the market. For example, somebody is just looking for, why should I implement an HR software? That is the top of the funnel one. A lot of companies don't target this kind of keywords. They don't even create this kind of content from the SEO and the content point of view. And then there are other signals as well, right? For example, if somebody is posting a job for an HR manager, that means they're looking to expand their HR team, and possibly they will look for a upgraded HR software. I'm just making this up, but this is a very real use case, right? So there are intents everywhere. People go to G2 and software suggest and they're comparing HR software solutions you're not aware of, right? So people are giving out their intent in many different places. 98% of them are hidden. You're not aware of it. So you're missing out, and you're only, all of you and your competitors are just fighting for those 2% of heavily qualified leads who are just looking for that solution right now. Right? So this kind of strategy creates wasted spend and missed opportunity. So you are obviously targeting the lowest hanging fruit, which is good, but you are absolutely, not thinking long term, and you're missing out on opportunities which you can convert, if not today, possibly 3 months down the line or 6 months down the line, right? So that's the PPC problem, or the ads problem in B2B, in traditional B2B growth, which I personally faced with a lot of why companies. PPC or why ads needs ABM 2.2. Okay. So as I said, if you want to, check out what ABM 2.0 is, we have created recently a bunch of webinars around that. So go ahead and check those out. We'll try to put those links into the comment section as well. So why PPC needs ABM 2.0? Because traditional ABM focuses on static listing form fields. Traditional ABM means, put up a list of 100 companies, find all the decision makers, and blast them email. Right? Send them emails or possibly LinkedIn connection requests. That was what traditional ABM was to a large extent, right? With the resources that they had. I'm talking about 2015 here. ABM 2.0 focuses on live buyer signals and real-time activation. That means you're not just making a list and spraying and praying for some of them to convert. Instead, you're looking for live real-time signals in the market. For example, if somebody is doing a G2 or a software suggest research on an HR-based software, you get that signal. If somebody is posting something on LinkedIn around HR software using the tools like social listening, you got that signal. If somebody is posting a job for an HR manager, that's a signal, right? So if somebody is buying a Salesforce and you are providing a Salesforce-enabled HR-based software, then that's also a signal. So signals are everywhere, right? It's up to you and your business to decide what signals matter you the most, but signals are everywhere. And there are different types of signals. So ABM 2.0 focuses not just on the list, but also on the signals, right? And based on the list, based on the signals, it makes the list and not the other way around, or both at the same time, right? And it always constantly listens to the market and then, personalizes the outreach and the ads based on the needs and the intent of the prospect rather than just doing spray and play. Okay. ABM 2.0 helps PPC team engage earlier and spend smarter. That means if you can understand the signal, if somebody has just taken a Salesforce implementation, and if you know early on as compared to your competitors, you can just reach out to them saying that, hey, you know what, you have implemented Salesforce, good for you. We have an HR software which is absolutely compatible with Salesforce and it is built on top of Salesforce, or it is built for Salesforce audience. So you can reach out to your customers early on, reach out to them with ads like LinkedIn ads or Google ads or whatever, and you do a precise targeting, right? And spend smart. So the idea is to go from broad match to precision targeting. That's the idea. It's not about spray and pray, but based on the target audience and the intent and the signals that you are getting, you do a precision targeting with your ads. And when I say ads, I mean PPC as well as social ads like LinkedIn and so this is why PPC needs ABM 2.0. So the old infrastructure was keywords, clicks, and broad ads. They completely used to miss intent, except the intent like a keyword-based intent. But the new one has those keyword-based intents as well as the signals and the account are added, right? So for example, the signals will be added, the keyword will be added, and the accounts will be added. That means now the ad are super precise. Now you're going to say only target these companies who are 52 million, 100 million dollar in revenue, who have implemented Salesforce in the last 1 year, who are also aggressive on hiring, and they are posting jobs online, and then create a personalized ads for these companies and people working for these companies. I hope I'm making sense here. So that's the idea of ABM 2.0, PPC ABM 2.0. we call it the bridge ads. So it's like a bridge from the signals, the accounts, and the intent all together, and then it creates a bridge, and then it creates a highly targeted ad to them, and it creates early engagement before your competitors comes in. Or when the buyer is at the early stage of their journey, that is where you can reach out to them and you can create a relationship with them, which will benefit you to close them later on, right? Okay, so now what is ABM 2.0? So the ABM 2.0 in general is moving from list-based campaigns to signal-driven engagement, right? It's not about making a list of 100 companies and then just blasting emails. It is about signal-driven. Look for what signals companies are sending. Detects buying intent before the form fills. That means, most of the companies, they are just, the sales team just waiting on the desk. Somebody will come to their website, fill up the form, contact us form or a demo form, and then once that happens, then they will start following up and start their sales cycle. But that's too late, because by the time somebody's filling up your form, they are already advanced in their journey, and then possibly they are filling up 5 more forms of your competitors, so you are late. The idea is to detect the buyer intent before the form fills so that you can reach out to them before your competitor does. It also aligns the sales and the marketing team and the customer success team effectively. That means the marketing team and sales team are working continuously, and the customer success team working continuously, aligning themselves. It's not like marketing will run an ad, boom, somebody fills up the form, give that leads to sales, and then forget about it. Okay, that is not good alignment. The alignment is where the marketing team and the sales team and the customer success team collectively works together, and find out those early buyer intent signals early on so that they can, reach out to them, create campaigns, and create a relationship with those prospects early on. And of course, the use of AI and automation for real-time orchestration is very important. If you don't have AI and automation, I wouldn't have been creating this kind of webinar on ABM 2.0. ABM 2.0 is largely possible thanks to AI and automation. With AI and automation, you can automate things quickly, and you can use AI to take decisions quickly and create content and personalization quickly. That is the reason we are talking about all these things right now, and we were not talking about all these things 5 years back, right? So this is the ABM 2.0 model. The idea is to capture the signals, enrich the signals, enrich the data. For example, you capture the signals of 10 companies who are looking for an HR software. Then you enrich the data, the company profile, the company, the round of funding, or the company revenue, or the company employees, the decision makers. Then prioritize, who are going to reach out to, who are not going to reach out to. Then activate. You create a multi-channel outreach, right? Personalization. You reach out to them on LinkedIn, on ads, on LinkedIn ads, and LinkedIn messages, and even email campaigns, and like so on. And then you start measuring using continuous loop, and then you just keep this loop going on. So the starting point, as you can see, is capture, and not just blatantly just making a list and throwing them an outbound email, right? So that's what ABM 2.0 is. So bridge ads is a way in which we take ABM 2.0 and ads, and we create a bridge, right? To create a super personalized, decision-driven ads. Bridge ads connects intent data to CRM, and then from CRM to ad platforms. Okay, CRM or CDP or whatever the data storage platform you're using. For example, you have identified that there are some publicly available API. You're going to scrape data from there. Also, you are working in, say, a very specific industry, say medical or healthcare industry, where you're only targeting hospitals and doctors. Okay, you scrape the information from different sources, from different APIs, from Google Maps APIs and other. Okay, then also you want to see another intent that they are posting jobs, a lot of jobs. That means they are growing. Okay, that's another signal. Then possibly they have just implemented Salesforce software. Okay, very good. That's another signal. Okay, and then there can be a search-based signals. For example, they are looking for HR-based software. That's another signal. You can run search-based ads on Bing and Google. I'm not against that. That's another thing. So you combine all the signals and then you put those signals and into your CRM or CDP. Then find those companies and find the decision makers of those companies. Create a customer match list. Integrate it with the ads like Google ads and LinkedIn ads, and upload that data into LinkedIn ads or Google ads, and then ask LinkedIn and Google to only run campaigns for these companies and these people. That's what the bridge ads framework is all about. So starting from intent to ad, you create a bridge, right? And you only target the customers who are relevant to you, who have an intent, and who have a need, right? So it's super precise. It's not spray and pray, super precise. And then, it can very efficiently manage your budget to only the audience that are really relevant to you. Okay. The whole idea is to find the relevance in the entire game. So the key workflow is capture the intent signals, sync it with CRM or CDP, enrich the segment accounts, activate the mass audience, right? Right creative, right account, right moment. The goal here is real time. That's the goal. So if you look at the bridge ad framework, find the intent signal, push it to CRM, CDP data warehouses, creates a bridge ad layer, create an integration between the CRM, CDP to LinkedIn, Google, and Meta, and then run ads campaigns, okay, only to those massed audiences, and then create a revenue amp. In that way, you're using your ad budget very effectively. You're only targeting the people who are relevant to you and who have an intent, and you are just super precise in terms of your messaging also, because now your messaging is not going to be, hey, we are a software company like 50 million other software HR software company. Here it will be more personalized. Hey, you know what, you are into healthcare section, we are expert on that, you have just taken Salesforce, we have a very good implementation on top of it, okay, we are the right guys for you. So your messaging will be very super personalized. You can create those campaigns. That's the power of intent data. There are various sources to find those intent. For example, G2, Bambora, all these platforms have native integration with Salesforce and HubSpot. So if somebody is visiting your profile on G2 and they have native integration with HubSpot, so those companies and people can be matched and updated into your CRM or CDP, whatever you're using, or both. All right. So G2 Bambora software suggest, okay, shows who is researching your category. Lead feeder factors can be used to, to find those reverse IP, web visitor data, for example, companies who are visiting your site, but they're not filling up your form, or people who are visiting your sites, not filling up your form, can be captured with tools like Factors and Sixth Sense and Lead Feeder and RB2B and like so on. And those also have native integration with HubSpot and Salesforce. Okay, even HubSpot itself as a platform, they store signals and score signals, so you can get those signals from HubSpot itself, and it can give you the bunch of accounts which are signal matched with your query. So even HubSpot does that, and then combine all these multiple data sources, push it to HubSpot or Salesforce or CDPs, and then enrich it continuously. And then from HubSpot or Salesforce, you can also create an integration. There is a native integration with LinkedIn ads and Meta ads and Google ads, by which you can push those data as a customer match data into Google and LinkedIn, and you can create a customer match audience and then run ads with those customer match audience, right? Super effective, super precise. This webinar, I'm not going to talk about the practical aspect of it. In the upcoming webinars, I'm going to practically show you how to do that as well. So stay tuned and please do subscribe to our webinar if you're not already subscribed. If you're into B2B, sales team, marketing team, or if you're a company who has a B2B products, especially in tech, then all these content are going to be super useful on how to take on the challenges of AI and automation and use that to your own advantage to move forward. Okay, so this is the power of intent data. G2, Bambora, lead feeder factors, I mean, there's just one intent. There are other intent also. For example, tech stack, job posting, social listening. There are so many other intent. Right? You can all push it to CRM CDP, and you can create a unified intent layer. Right? Multiple different sources for intent, pushing the data continuously, updating in CRM, enriching in CRM, and then pushing it to. Okay, let's talk about some workflows, some use cases. Okay, some very commonly used use cases are G2 intent to LinkedIn ads, very commonly used. Okay, in B2B ABM specifically. So capture the active research accounts from G2. If you have your own G2 profile, if somebody visiting your G2 profile, it can be captured by G2. If somebody is doing a active research on your industry, even that can be captured by G2, and that intent and the signal can be pushed. Of course, you need a premium version of G2, and and all of that is there, of course. But if you have all those infrastructure, those intent can be easily captured, and you can create a customer match audience in LinkedIn ads. That means all the companies who are visiting your G2 profile, checking your G2 profile, or all audiences, companies who are visiting your industry category and comparing your software with other softwares, they can be pushed into your CRM in real time. And then, you can create a list of those companies using, say, something like an active list, and list the data of the decision makers of the company, create a customer match audience, push that audience to LinkedIn ads, and then run ads using that customer match audience. Okay, it sounds straightforward. It's actually very straightforward if you know what to do and how to do it. Okay, so capture the active research accounts from G2, sync it with HubSpot or CRM, create a LinkedIn match audience, run dynamic remarketing with use case or ROI ads, right? Build lookalike audiences to expand. And so once you build an audience in LinkedIn, then you can use LinkedIn to create lookalike audiences, right? So you can expand, right? This is how the workflow looks like: G2 to HubSpot to LinkedIn matched audience to dynamic remarketing, and then lookalike expansion. Super effective. Very commonly used workflow. Another use case is customer CRM match with similar companies API. Now, what is that? Your CRM already has your existing customers. Now, those are the best type of people for you to do business, since they have already done business with you, right? What if you can find similar companies like the companies that you have already worked in the past? Find those in real time, and then reach out to them through ads, right? It's a great use case. Right? A lot of companies I have worked with, we have done that with very good results. So export the top customer list from CRM. Use familiar, similar companies API to find lookalikes. So there are similar companies API. So once you push those companies into those APIs, the APIs will run their algorithm and find more companies similar to those companies using different factors. I have already created a webinar around similar companies API, so you can go and check it out. Find those, for example, you push 10 companies and ask it, hey, find 20 more companies similar to this in this particular location. So it'll do that. Then you push it back into the CRM, enrich score by fit and intent, right? And you can push more intent also. For example, whether these companies are posting jobs, whether they are growing, whether their revenue is between $50 million to $100 million, whether they are using Salesforce. So there are other intent information can also be pushed in, thanks to AI-based, agentic-based automation. You can do that now. Then you create list in HubSpot or CRM, and then upload or using direct integration, upload that data into Google Ads or LinkedIn ads for customer match, and then run contextual ads. For example, see why companies like X you trust us, or maybe you can show some case studies, right? Those ads will be super personalized and super contextual, super effective. So this is how it works. CRM customers to similar companies API, then find more companies, enrich the list, push it to Google Ads and LinkedIn ads, and then run ads like see why companies like X choose us, case studies around this particular industry, and like so on. Super effective, especially in B2B. Use case 3, web visitor intent, very commonly used. Again, if somebody visits your sites, doing a few things, not filling up your contact us form, leaving there we have the technology now, the reverse IP tracking technology, by which we can almost 50% of the time figure out who these people are or from which company domain they have come in from. So that technology is already there thanks to Six Sense and Baboras and Clearbits and HubSpots. The technology is there now. So identify anonymous website visitors by company very easily. Okay, segment based on visits, pages viewed, recency. So not everybody who visits your site is your prospect. Somebody who's just coming, reading out your blog may just be there to read the blog. But if somebody is coming and checking out your pricing page or downloading a case study, they might be more, they may have more intent. So you've got to take a call on that, and then accordingly you need to create the segment. The segment can be based on visits, page views, and recency, right? Sync the audiences, then make the list of those companies and people, enrich those with people working in those companies. Sometimes you also get people level data thanks to companies like RB2B. You get that. So you can update that as well. Create list based on company and people working on those companies. Push it as a customer match audience to LinkedIn and Google Ads, and then run hyper-personalized retargeting ads. Super good, right? Okay, this is like a remarketing on steroids in many ways, right? Okay, so that's another very commonly used use case that we do. Okay, website visits, identify company, create segment, push it to factors, lead feeder or Six Sense or whatever you're using, sync it to ad platform, retarget them, and see your pipeline grow. Another very simple use case, but super effective use case. If you have not used that, this is where I would suggest you to start, with intent data. Why bridge ads and ABM work? So ABM along with bridge ads does wonder because the cookie-based targeting is fading, right? More and more companies are now getting away with cookies. So here you are getting all this intent signal and you are storing it in your own servers. So in many ways, those third-party information becomes first-party information, first-party data for you. That means instead of just relying on cookies, you are getting all the signal and creating your own list in your own servers, in your own database, which you can reuse and reuse, right? So that will lower your dependency on cookies. The intent of the CRM data are first-party compliant. If you can gather those intent in real time using different tools and agents and AI agents, those are first-party compliant. Those are your data. You can keep it, okay, and you're not breaking any laws for that. And unified journey. Every click feeds the next touch. For example, you can process the behavioral data as well, right? You can continuously enrich that data and build your list. And we have seen 30 to 50% ad spend efficiency as compared to traditional ads. So it saves a lot of money. And it also helps you engage the buyer before the competitors do. Too many benefits for you to ignore this, right? So privacy safe targeting, unified buyer's journey, sales and marketing alignment, 30 to 50% spend efficiency, and engage before competitors. What can be better than that? The ABM PPC stack blueprint, layers and examples. So this is like the blueprint of the stack. Okay, the ABM PPC stack or the PPC bridge stack, whatever you can call it. So these are all the tech stack that you need to put into place. Intent capture due to Bambora lead feeder factors. Another intent also this is just for reference purpose. There can be 10 different intent. So that system needs to be in place. Data enrichment system needs to be in place. Clearbit, Apollo, similar companies, API, LinkedIn APIs, putting the different, the Apollos and the Zoom infos. That's the another layer. Then the CRM and the CDP, HubSpot segment, Six Sense, whatever you're using. Push all the data here. So this needs to be built. Ad platform integration needs to be there. We generally work with B2B, so the focus is mostly on LinkedIn and Google, but it can be other platforms as well. And then always, look for analytics, right? Xpanel, factors, dream data. I mean, these are just tools. purely depends on your tech stack and what type of industry you are in. But this is just for reference sake. Okay, this is what the tech stacks look like. These are the whole level of tech stack. Okay, right from intent, enrich, CRM, CDP, ads, and then finally analytics. All of this needs to be integrated. And this is where a company like us comes into the picture. This is where Insight Tap helps B2B companies. We have developers, we do the technical work as well. We do the development, we do the integration, we do all of that. This is the blueprint for implementation. Connect the CRM, intent data, and ad account. This integration needs to be done. Create dynamic ICPs, dynamic lists in HubSpot and Salesforce with intent signals and enrichment. Launch bridge ads on LinkedIn and Google. Okay, once the data is fed, the customer match data is fed, and the audiences are built, launch it. Measure the CPC, CPL, SQL rate. Measure all this. CPC, CPL, what is going on, and also the SQL rate, whether the deal pipeline is increasing, and scale using lookalike audience and similar companies' API. So once you find a good fit, just scale. Use those platforms' innate ability to find, similar audiences. LinkedIn and Google are super good at it. And just scale. Once you find the right fit. So this is how it looks like visually: connect, segment, activate, measure, scale, right? And then this is a continuous optimization loop. So make sure that you follow the process here. So some use cases for B2B tech SaaS launches, G2 plus CRM remarketing, but especially SaaS-based B2B tech, SaaS-based software companies, they use it a lot. IT vendors, multi-stakeholder engagement. They want to engage with the end users, like IT managers, and also they want to engage with the decision makers like CIO. In this kind of scenario, this can work very well. MSPs, managed service providers, filter the ICP before the ad delivery. I mean, of course, you don't want to share the same ad to the developer and to the CIO, right? And to the CFO. So you need more personalization and more context. This is where it can really help. AI and analytics firms, they use it a lot. Anonymous visitor retargeting, right? And cloud providers, correct? So competitive research campaigns and like so on, right? So they're competing with the competitors, correct? So this kind of strategy creates a very good campaigns in terms of competitive research. So these are some use cases. I'm going to create a lot more content around these use cases in the coming days. Okay, and I'm going to go deep down into individual use cases. Possibly, so write down the comment which one you want to see first. If you comment more, we are going to create more content based on what you want. It takes a lot of effort to create this kind of content. So your engagement will matter a lot to us, and we'll create the content based on what you need. Right? So we'll create more content. So go ahead and comment. I'm pretty sure there are some use cases that might be coming into your mind with respect to your own industry. Go ahead and comment, and we will create a complete strategy webinar just for you. Why not? So we will give, and all of this is totally free. You don't charge anything for this content. It's totally free. Use that. Feel free to use that. Interact with our team. We'll be very happy to interact. Typically what we work with, SaaS, IT, MSPs, AI, cloud-based companies, mostly tech-based companies, but this can be expanded into other industries like healthcare and heavy engineering and others as well. We have worked with healthcare and heavy engineering and other industries, but mostly we work with these kind of companies. But it can be expanded to other industries as well. There's no limit to that. Okay. The idea is to reach in markets account faster. That's the idea. Okay, the in-market accounts with the signals, you try to reach them as fast as possible. Now, what are the key metrics to track? Okay, once you have gone from the strategy of traditional B2B marketing to bridge ads based ABM 2.0, what are the key metrics to track? Ad influence pipeline. Okay, so create segments within the CRM, the HubSpot and Salesforce, to see what amount of pipeline got influenced or generated by ads. Check out that. Okay. Signal to pipeline velocity, whether the signal is increasing the velocity of the pipeline, the deal pipeline. That's another one. Cost per ICP account engaged. Okay, so if you're engaging with ICP, what is the cost for that? And has it reduced? Ad frequency by funnel stage. You know, how much ad you're showing it to the same account? What is the frequency? And does it increase based on the funnel stage that they are in? Okay, for example, if they are already in the deal stage, possibly you can, show more ads to more people within the company. Why not? That's another something that can be measured. And revenue by signal source. I know it's hard. That is where we come into the picture. We work with the RevOps team, and it's not a one-man's job. It takes a whole village to do that. But we work with these companies, with all our clients to help. That's typically how the dashboard looks like. Pipeline influenced, velocities reduced, CPA. What is the spend, and signal ROI, right? To signal ROI. This is how unified small dashboard will look like. Correct? Once you reach there, it takes a little bit of time to reach here. It doesn't happen overnight, especially for large companies, but it's totally worth it. And this is the KPIs that I would want to measure. When we are implementing for our. These are some case study examples. In super short, a SaaS company spent 40K a month on ads, implemented ABM 2.0 bridge ads. And this is what they got, 40% lower ad spend, 2.3% higher SQL rate, 65% pipeline from early signal account. Okay, so significant increase of pipeline and significant drop in ad spend is what we have seen in our best case studies. This is what you can achieve, right? This is generic. When we say that, it's not applicable to every industry and every company, but yes, you can achieve a lot with this. So super good results we have got in the past couple of years, especially thanks to AI and automation, into the picture, things are moving much faster. Today, I'm going to talk about more on the AI and automation. That's the implementation side of it. But I'm going to definitely talk about how AI and automation plays the role in bridge-based text to conversion. That's the goal of ABM 2.0. Okay, the focus is not just the click, but also on the conversion, right? It's not just about the contactors form fills, but also catching the audience early on. So the ABM 2.0 is continuity between ads and sales. Bridge ads create connection, not noise. Every impression builds buyer awareness. Right? So the idea is to create a connection and not noise, not to just blatantly show ads to the entire country, okay, just to get a few leads. Okay, so the idea is not to create noise, but to create connection, awareness, smarter targeting, more personalized targeting, and smarter signal capture to personalized ad to conversion. That's the journey you need to make when you're going from ABM 1.0 to ABM 2.0 using bridge ads. And then do a continuous learning in the process. This is a journey that we typically see, right? It takes a little bit of time to go through the journey, but it's totally worth it. Also, the mindset. I think there needs to be a mindset shift as well when you're creating this strategy. Don't chase traffic. The mindset earlier was, hey, you know what? If I'm getting 50,000 visitors, I'm getting 20 leads. If I get 100,000 visitors, I'll get 40 leads. That was the mindset, but you need to come out of that particular mindset. It's not about the quantity, but more on the quality that matters. Okay. So don't chase traffic, follow signals, don't chase roles, target accounts, don't measure clicks, measure conversion. So ABM 2.0 is PPC with purpose. Okay, and anyway, the SEOs and the content marketing and the traditional search ads are getting beaten left, right, center by thanks to perplexities and the OpenAIs and Gemini, right? So anyway, the traffic are going to go down in the coming days. So it's better for you to start rethinking on the strategy and shift your strategy and your mindset based on the new realities that are to signals, traffic to accounts, and metrics to pipeline. Okay. So PPC 2.0 is precision plus purpose. That's what it is. Okay, so this is this is it. To conclude, capture the intent signal, release the data, activate and measure. That's what ABM 2.2 is all about. Run bridge ads on intent-driven audiences. And based on all these things, create intent-driven audiences. Integrate it with your ad account. Create a customer match audiences. Then create lookalike audiences and create what we call as the bridge ads. So the future, the focus is on the ICP fit, in-market buyers. The focus is industry-specific, ICP fit, in-market buyers. And the future of the PPC belongs to those who see what others miss. That's what the future is. Okay. See what others miss, capture, enrich, activate, measure, optimize, scale. That's the journey you need to take if you want to create a ABM PPC-based ABM 2.0 strategy. Thank you so much for being. This has been a long session, but I hope it was eye-opening for you, for everybody who is just understanding this topic. So please go try to find out more resources around these topics. Things are changing very fast. We are creating a lot of content around that. So please do subscribe to our channel.